Meikyuu, Rudd and Luna have finally arrived in the village advance home of our protagonist, where everybody wants it, as is the case of this hairy girl named Milana, who will immediately embrace her. She is the daughter of the harvester of the village, and who accompanies her to avoid wasting time is Phil, the second to command the village guard. They are two very good friends of Ruth from her youth, so they do her the favor of constantly checking her sister to make sure that she is completely okay. Both are quite friendly in their way, so it makes them easy to get along well with Luna. From the start, something very similar to what happens with Handisa is that she also wants her brother a lot, and that's why she took care of receiving him with all her favorite dishes. Being a sick girl is quite active and laborious, but I still think that the reactions of the prostate are very exaggerated. When it comes to her, this girl may seem somewhat inexpressive at first sight, but there's something that delates pretty much. Her emotions are about her haircut, which doesn't stop moving, according to how it feels. This is not just a comic resource in this world. There are people with physical peculiarities in addition to the skills with which one is born. She's ready and they can eat. The problem is that the life that Luna has been used to is still rooted in her mind. She doesn't know how to hold a spoon properly when Manisha highlights that. She apologizes and kneels on the floor while she tells her that only twice in her life she's used them. Obviously, Manisha won't be mad at something like that. In fact, it comes very fast that Moon isn't used to normal life, so she decides to teach her how to use the spoon in addition to promising you with a smile that will teach you everything you want little by little. During the following days, both Ryu and her sister help her to learn to read writing using kitchen utensils and also to clean. It is why several days later she prepares herself a whole banquet for the brothers as thanks for all that they taught her. After this, Ruth decides that it will take her to know all the village. Manisa wants to help her put on a dress, but the Albina refuses, obviously does not want to let anyone see the runa in her chest so that they do not know that it is a homunculo. To the first that they visit in the village is to the harvester, who happily asks the right if maybe came to the village to give her a grandson with her daughter, a joke to which Rut seems to be quite accustomed. The reason why you came here is not only to introduce you to Luna but also to ask him to make a new magic sword because he no longer owns his own. After this, go to the monstrous farm, so called by the peculiar plants that grow with mana to become monsters at the exact time, to collect their fruits. Here we meet the old pharmacy of the village, who manufactures the medicines for handcuffs and usually cheats the children when they are bothering people, something that scares Moon very much because they bring very bad memories. That first bad impression quickly disappears, since she notices the sadness that the old lady feels for not being able to help her sister with the prostate anymore, and that she always wishes that her medications were not just a treatment but a cure. Besides that, he's kind enough, so he takes her to the plantation to teach him how to collect the fruits and takes him home. On the way back, Luna thanks her for bringing her to a welcoming village. She wants to spend the rest of her life in this place but feels she can't. Here is when she decides to reveal to the prota that it's a homuncle. It looks like the blame is getting stronger. The more kind the prota was, the more he felt that he could no longer continue deceiving him. Rudd confesses to him that he already knew this because he had already seen the magic runa in his chest. Despite being a homuncle, he only saw a girl who had the same expression as his sister in the face. It seems that this couple of brothers lived on the street in a poor city before reaching this village, where they never forgot what it is to be a human, thanks to the fact that they had each other. The Moon is a little different. She has always been alone and does not understand the meaning of being human because she is not even so living as they quietly seem to her an illusion. But Ruth is a very good guy. For him, there is no difference between the Moon and the rest of the people, especially because he travels in search of a treasure and does not know if there is a way to heal his sister. Manisa is equal to him when the Albina tells him the truth. She immediately accepts her because she considers her friend. Besides that, she feels very proud of her brother, who always helps when no one else would. After that, we see them cleaning a huge house along with several members of the guard who become a little crazy when he hears that Manisa made tea, but not as much as the prota that runs out to be the first to drink it. After that appears, Phil and Rut take advantage of his presence to ask him to practice mourning, which comes out of wonder to test his skills against the attacks of the blonde. They are very strong, and their speed is to be feared. In fact, Manisa says that they are both containing because if they practiced seriously, they should do it in a larger city. Ru loses a bit of compostura by walking. Seeing his two fans, But all the damage that gets his shield is enough to use the vital conversion and return the blow to File, who comes out flying with their shield completely broken. All are surprised that the Prota has learned to attack at last, but he is the one who is most excited because he can now protect his fellow travelers. Luna believes that the Prot is incredible, the same thought that she shares with her sister, since she would not be alive unless it was by him. As seen in the past by her parents, she was abandoned for illness and taken to RU, but he returned because he was unwilling to leave her a dream that always pursues her, accompanied by the guilt he has for thinking that she has been a great burden in her life.